What's up, everyone? I don't know why I clapped, but if I point here, what camera do you guys think I'm pointing at? Well, the thing is, the phone is right here and the GoPro is right here. I'm pretty sure the GoPro can see the phone, but this is the setup for today. And today I'm gonna talk about the second part of my internship abroad, working abroad experience. This truck is gonna be so loud. So for this one, I'm gonna talk about living situation, of course working there, and then traveling. And this is all in Ireland, Northern Ireland. So once we got to when we got to the airport, the CEO came to welcome us, and then he also booked us a taxi that we took back to our, I don't know what to call it, because it wasn't a hotel, it wasn't really apartments, and it wasn't really a hostel, so it was a mixture of it. And if you guys want to see the video of our I'm gonna call it hotel, if you want to see the video of our hotel, go to my YouTube channel, and there is a whole video that I recorded showing our living situation. So it was pretty great. So the way it was set up was, on the bottom floor was our professor, and he actually had like a typical hotel room, but then if you went one floor above, there was this staircase, nothing, and then one floor above it was us. But the way it was set up was, if you walk in, it would be right side would be kitchen, 2 restrooms, and then you walk a little bit up and there would be 2 bedrooms. Well, one was a bedroom, 1 living room, and 1 tiny closet area. And then you go even further up and there will be 2 rooms. That's where I was living. So it was set up pretty weird. As you can tell, that's not a normal hotel setup. That's not how hostels are, and that's how apartments are. But we didn't really book an apartment. It was they were renting out hotels. So I don't know what to call it, but it was pretty great. The only problem we had was the Wi-Fi. So they didn't actually have Wi-Fi. What they had was like a hotspot. Like, how you would go to hotels and you would get Wi-Fi free or pay for it. But for them, they had like a hotspot that you would use if you're traveling or something, and only like 5 devices can connect to it. And the problem was, they only had 10 GB in that hotspot, and I think we used it up on our first day there. And like, we went to the lady and tell her that Wi-Fi is not working, and then they figured out that we were using too much, and they told us like not to go on like YouTube, Facebook, all that. But I guess they didn't realize that we're from America and we're gonna do that. Like, everyone had a computer, everyone had a phone, so 2 devices were connected, so that's 12 devices right there. So there were so many devices that were being connected, and people were FaceTiming. Of course, I was uploading videos on YouTube. So what happened was, one day I got kicked out of the network because it only allowed 5 people, and I connected to my computer and I was trying to see what can I do, or at least what was the problem. And like, the website came up for the company, and by mistake I hit re-up, which basically says refill the plan, or like get the internet again. And I think I accidentally set it up for unlimited plan, and of course we didn't get charged for it because it was on our hotspot, and everyone had Wi-Fi for the two weeks we were there. I feel bad though, because like I just wanted to see why I got kicked out of the network, and that's when I also realized that it only allows 5 devices. So yeah, that's what happened. But we ended up getting free Wi-Fi at the end, because I refilled it without permission. So that was our living situation. Now, as far as like the location goes, there was city center, which was a little bit far, and there was a college next to us, and there were grocery stores around us. We were, I would say, 30 minutes away from our work, but there wasn't a problem because basically the company had its own account with like all the taxis, all the taxi companies around Northern Ireland. So basically, if I wanted to go somewhere, I would just call up the taxi, and I would give them the company name and the password, and they would just it would be put on the company account. So I don't think we were meant to use it every time. It was probably just like 1 or 2 times when we wanted to go to work, but we ended up using it everywhere, that account information that the company gave us. So if we had to go grocery shopping, or if we were traveling, we would just call up a taxi, put it on the company account, and then nobody really it didn't really matter. But I think that was because they didn't tell us, and we didn't really know what it was. It was first time for them, it was first time for us, so we just put it on the company account and everything was fine. Now let me talk about the company itself. So the company I worked for was a healthcare company. So what I mean by that is it had its own private insurance, it had its own hospital, it trained people, and then it also had a medical tourism program. And the things and it was also developing a new program, and that was something we focused on as well. Let me cross this bridge and then I'll talk because it's gonna be so loud. Okay, so I mentioned in my previous video that we didn't really we weren't working, but we were consulting, and that was the thing where on our first day there were a couple introductions. We had a guy fly from London office to Northern Ireland to meet us, and then of course we met with the CEO and everyone. At work we met with the two owners, all the marketing members, and basically almost everyone that we needed to know. And we were assigned a couple different tasks. So we were helping develop a program, or at least we were the tester for it, and we gave them feedbacks. We tried to basically use it like a real scenario and how it would work out. What wasn't required was one of the short clips, and I actually made an advertisement for them. It wasn't an actual advertisement, but it was something to showcase, once the program is ready and ready to launch, how can they advertise it. And we ended up developing an advertisement for them. That was amazing, but I don't have that video on my YouTube. I had it, but I had to take it down because the company isn't ready to launch it yet. So that's that. And then other things we did was we gave surveys, which was a really bad idea, and I'll tell you guys why it was a bad idea. We helped develop like their website, the tourism. They printed out like 3,000 tourism brochures, medical tourism brochures, and what their goal was basically, let's say people from America, right, if we wanted to get medical treatments, we would either go to India or go to South America. Now the problem is, and well, it's not really a problem, but Northern Ireland, they basically wanted to see what can they do in order to attract patients from America, Canada, to fly to Northern Ireland and get the treatments there. And the benefit is that it takes about 17 hours to go to India to get a treatment, versus it would only take 6 hours to go to Northern Ireland, get a treatment. And of course you still have that traveling program where you can, once your treatment is done, they could book a couple trips around Northern Ireland. So that's what they were trying to do, and they had brochures and everything printed, but they couldn't get anyone. So we basically gave them feedback on what can they do in order to improve their medical tourism program. Another thing we focused on was like the company's website. So let me talk about the survey. So the survey was about, first of all, we developed the survey. The CEO just gave us what he wanted to see. So he wanted to compare so the CEO wanted to find out if people are interested in using the private insurance versus the government provided insurance. So you have to realize that in UK and in Northern Ireland, they have NHS, I think, National Healthcare System, something like that. I forgot, but that basically is the government provided insurance. It takes really long time, so that's why people also have their private insurance, and we were basically giving out surveys on that. So we developed the survey question, and we went out on the street to give surveys, and that's what they wanted us to do. And it was really a big fail, because you have to realize that in Northern Ireland it rains a lot. So out of 2 weeks, I would say it rained. So we were there for 2 weeks. It rained, I would say, for 10 days. And actually the day we went to go give out survey, it was raining, and we couldn't really ask many people. And then after a while it stopped raining, and we tried to talk to some people, and we realized that if it's raining, people don't want to talk to us because it's raining and they want to go to a safe spot. But if it's not raining and it's a sunny day outside, they don't want to talk to us because it's a nice sunny day. They want to enjoy that time. So we couldn't really get many people to answer our questions. And another thing was that when we went to give out the survey, we were next to the city center, which is really a spot for tourists. They don't know much about Northern Ireland system, and we were also close to the college, so students don't know much about healthcare program as well. So I remember there was time we were asking question, and this lady just, she was answering everything. But at the end, we realized that she was from Russia, and like it didn't matter what she said, because we were trying to find out information about Northern Ireland. One thing also happened, like we had these two kids, and they were walking down, and we thought like they were like, maybe in like late 20s or like almost about to graduate college, and we started asking them questions. At that point we didn't really like, we were asking almost anyone just to get some result, and we realized like they were 16 years old. You know, they looked older, but they were 16 years old, and they're like, I don't know, like I have to ask my dad or something, like, and then we just gave up. So it wasn't like a fail from our part. It was, of course, we saved the company by telling them that, you know, don't do this, don't waste your time getting survey results. I'm pretty sure it doesn't cost a lot, but of course they would have to spend a lot of time into giving out surveys, face-to-face surveys, and we told them not to do it. We also gave them alternatives that they can focus on, so give them phone surveys, online email surveys, and in person when they come to visit the hospital, ask some questions there. But we did not recommend doing the face-to-face survey because we tried it and it didn't work out, and they wanted us to try it as well, and it did not work out. So that was a good learning experience for both of us. I don't want to get too much into the work because it was, of course, we did a lot over there. We did not really work with anyone besides all the board members. It was mostly, they gave us like a spot in their company, in the headquarters, and we were just like set up in a tiny group. We were just working there. But all the people who were working with the company, like the sales department, I'm pretty sure they had accounting, finance, all that. We saw them, but we didn't really interact with any of them. The CEO did send out an email to everyone. Like when I say everyone, I remember we were going on a tour. Like the CEO was taking us on a tour, and we went to their hospital, and there was a guy in front desk, Raj, I think his name was. And as soon as we walked in, CEO started introducing us, and then he's like, oh yeah, you sent out an email. So when the CEO sent out an email, it went to everyone, including that person working at the front desk of the hospital. And I'm assuming the CEO sent out to, like, you know, the headquarters and everyone as well. So we basically got a tour of the entire hospital, and it was amazing. Now let me talk about traveling. And I mentioned it, that we did a lot of traveling. So the reason we were able to do a lot of traveling was because we got there, I think, over the weekend. We had one more weekend, and then the day we were living also was the weekend. So, you know, we had a couple of days off, and of course the company did give us days off. We weren't really working like a typical 9 to 5. If we wanted to go home early and work from home, that was fine, because we were just working on projects. Like when we had to give out surveys, we just went to the company for a couple hours, and then everyone just decided to go back home, and we gave surveys in the streets outside. The best trip we had was to Dublin, and this private day tour we did was to, if you guys seen the show Game of Thrones, so they have some set in Northern Ireland, and we went on the set of Game of Thrones. So there was a day tour. The driver was amazing. I have so many videos of that, so go check it out. I have locations of Game of Thrones where it was shot, and we also went to the driver was really nice. Like we were with him the entire day, and he was also the tour guide, so he showed us a couple extra locations, which was really great. Another tour we did in Northern Ireland was the Titanic tour. Titanic was built in Northern Ireland, and we got a tour of like the people who built it, and you know, when it sank and all that stuff. So it was not everyone went, but it was a great experience. It was only 4 of us, so it was the professor, me, and 2 other girls. So if you know about Ireland, it's when I say Northern Ireland, I was working in Northern Ireland, Belfast. That's a different country. And Ireland, where we went on a trip to Dublin, that's a different country. And so going from Northern Ireland, Belfast to Dublin, there was also a day trip, and that was a really great trip. We took a train there. It was a couple of hours, and that was actually the first time I went live on Instagram. No, not Instagram, on Facebook. I don't know if I still kept the videos, but yeah, the train had its own Wi-Fi, and we were going live, and it was really fun. It was a 1.5 to 2 hour train ride. When we got to Dublin, we did like a bus tour. So it wasn't really a typical bus tour like they have in New York. The way it works is that you get on a bus from a location. They give you a map, and you can just get out anywhere you like. But the thing is, if you get out on the spot where the bus stops and there are restaurants and all that near you, if you show them the map, they give you food, drinks. They would give that for free, and then, you know, if you wanted to order more, you can do that. We got to see the entire city from there, and we were mostly on the bus for the entire day. Those were like the big tours that we did. The CEO did on our second day. It was a Sunday, and the CEO took us on a tour, and like he took us on a tour. It was his minivan, and all of us got into the van, and he actually did it, like he did it properly, and I was surprised what he did was he dropped us off at the market, some people at the market, and he gave tour to like 3-4 people around Belfast. There was a castle I saw. What else was it? So he gave us a tour of the city and the castle, the city center as well, and then he would drop us off at the market if he wanted to do shopping, and then he would take the other people. So for a CEO doing that, that's really great. That shows something. When we got a chance, we also took tours around by ourselves in taxis. The owner's son, he actually he's studying in Florida, but he was there at that time, and the owner's son, he was giving us tours and he was hanging out with us as well. So that was pretty nice. So that was my experience working in Northern Ireland, interning in Northern Ireland, and I believe the experience was really great because I went through college and I knew the people that I was going with. So we basically did the project 3 months before we went to Northern Ireland. I got to know all the team members and the professor, and once we got there, we were all comfortable, and all we had to focus on was working for the company and working on the projects that the company assigned us. Of course, I highly recommend if your college is offering something like that, and even if it's not an international experience, if they're just saying, couple students, if you guys want to go do an internship or go work for a company locally or maybe in different state, I would highly recommend that because it's really gonna make a huge difference, and it really looks good on your resume. Every time I talk about it, people always ask me about what it was like and what I ended up doing over there. It's an entire playlist: Northern Ireland Experience, Global Practica. Yes, we did get an A. The entire group did get an A. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'm gonna end it right here. Peace out. Oh, by the way, this video is coming out late just because yesterday when I started recording, after like 10 minutes the GoPro memory said it's full, and I wasn't looking at it, and it had been like 20 minutes, and then I realized that it said full, and it didn't record much, so I had to stop, and then I redid it, but I didn't like the quality, so I just didn't use the clip. So today is Tuesday and I'm recording it, and I'm gonna upload it for sure. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey guys, if you like that video, please do consider subscribing to my channel and make sure to hit that bell icon, and also follow me on Instagram at officialusername.